G'day, I'm Scott Poynton and welcome to A Different Way, the place where we talk about creating impact and bringing change, particularly as it relates to the social entrepreneur's journey. In this video, I want to talk about something that's really critical to not just getting started on a social entrepreneur journey, but surviving and thriving, and that's money. We can't travel this journey without money, and that can be a difficult thing for a social entrepreneur to grasp and just to hold on to, because often social entrepreneurs really are not motivated by money. If they were motivated by money, they'd go on and work with a company, with a traditional business. Okay, so they tend not to be motivated by the desire for large amounts of money. And sometimes people can even feel that money pollutes their journey. They're here because of the passion. They're here because of what they want to do. And yet they still need money. And why? Because you've got to eat. You've got to have a place to live. You've got to pay yourself a salary. And a lot of social entrepreneurs get started as volunteers, just sort of volunteering their time to their social enterprise. That can happen. I've just been doing that myself, in fact. But I was able to do that because I had another source of income. Okay, it's a bit like oxygen. Money in a way is oxygen and water. You don't get very far without both in the world. Oxygen, water, food, it's nourishment. You've got to have a safe place where you can dive into this unknown place with courage, with your values, dive into the great fog and survive in there. You've got to know that at the end of the day, you can come home and you can sleep somewhere. You might have family. The kids need to go to school. Your partner might or might not have a job. You've got to put food on the table. At some point, you probably need a holiday. All of these things cost money. And so this whole question of money, let's get it out there. Let's get it out there early on, and we're going to come back to it again and again and again. We must also dispel this myth that talking about money on a social entrepreneur journey is a bad thing, because it really isn't. And sometimes I would say that, people maybe thought I talked about money too much, but I just knew on when I set up the TFT and now with the Pond Foundation, and also with the cricket club that I set up, other things that I've set up along the way, that if we didn't have money, we couldn't achieve the change that we wanted to bring. We couldn't bring the impact. We couldn't create the impact that we wanted to do in the world without money, right? Because, as I've said previously in another video, you've got to have partners. You've got to have people working with you. We do not achieve much on our own. In fact, we achieve pretty little on our own. So if we want someone to come alongside and work with us, we're going to have to pay them some money, right? They've got to eat too. They may, if they're young people, maybe they don't have a family, but maybe they want to have a family. But they got, at least anything, they're going to have to eat. So I'm a great believer in paying people. Even if they're interns, we should pay them. We should reward them for the work they give us. And for that, we need money. Okay, so I've probably gone on about it enough. But money is so important. And what we're going to talk about next, in the next video, is this notion of what's your business model? Like, how are you going to raise that money? Okay, how are you going to raise the money that allows you to pay yourself, pay whoever else is working with you, and pay your costs? You may have to rent a building, you may have to pay someone to do your social media for you, whatever. You're going to have costs. Okay, so let's get over that. We're going to need to talk about money. We're going to have to put aside any concerns we have about it being a bit dirty. We will not be polluted by it unless we let ourselves get polluted by it. And that's why our values, remember I talked in a different video about values, how important our values are. And if we've got our strong values, we won't be poisoned by money, because our values and our passion and what we want to do in the world will override any concern that somehow the money will corrupt us. Okay, it does happen. I've seen it. I've seen it so many times that the money becomes the objective. And whole organizations, I would say, I would write them off because they're only interested in making money. And some of these are very, very large NGOs with famous names, but we won't go into that here. But understand that holding true to your values and keeping focused on your passion means that money becomes a conversation you can have. And understanding then how you're going to raise that money, how you're going to spend that money wisely becomes another discussion. All right, well look, I hope that was helpful. We do have other videos here. Do give them a watch. If you find them of use, drop us a question. Share us your thoughts. You might have a particular issue that you want to talk about. So check out those videos and let us know how you're going. Thanks very much.